Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard. I'm Mike, just Mike. Along with me is my brother Ron, just Ron. I'm wearing my dark sunglasses because I like to wear my dark sunglasses. And I'm old enough as a boomer to do what I like to do. I might even start cussing here in a little bit because I actually like to cuss too, but I just try to keep
Oh,
it
it's one of my favorite things. I'm a connoisseur.
You're connoisseur. I've been
Since I was
complimented on
real
my.
small, you can attest to that. I was incredible by the time I could talk.
Oh well, I can. I've been complimented on my cussing style. In fact, so
Yes,
if
as
anybody
well as I have as well. So yeah,
happens. Hey, we're going to talk today about a boomer topic that we both love: Rocky, the movie.
yes,
The creator of Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. You know, Ron, I don't even know if we've got time to talk about the entire series because the initial Rocky movie that came out in
yeah,
1976 was just such an incredible movie. Best Picture won the
yeah.
Oscar for Best Picture, Best
As an
Director.
underdog, just like the character.
Yeah,
Nobody was sick. Nobody saw it coming.
well, that's. I guess that maybe is the first thing we ought to talk about is the fact that this wasn't. They considered when Sylvester Stallone was trying to sell the movie, the script for Rocky. Everybody was interested in the script, but nobody was interested
No,
in Sylvester Stallone starring in the script. And Sylvester Stallone, what what a pair!
yeah,
He
he was
just
just
like
hard headed. He was not going to
you.
back down.
I'm not doing it unless I'm the star of it. And they were thinking about it as a vehicle for maybe Robert Redford, if you can imagine that.
Oh
Uh,
man,
uh, Burt Reynolds, who who might have been capable of it, except for his confidence that just oozed through no matter what he
yeah.
played. And Rocky was just not a confident person.
Mm-mm.
Rocky was depressed. And I don't know if Burt Reynolds could play depressed. It would have been an interesting challenge, but you'd still be, you'd watch that and you'd have been looking at Burt Reynolds, and it just would have been this rich, successful Hollywood guy pretending to be
Uh-huh.
this downtrodden, nowhere to go but up
Yeah,
guy.
would not have worked.
But it wouldn't have worked like it did because the movie, they should make a movie about the making of the movie Rocky. They
Yeah.
really should. It's just as much a success story as the movie itself. So you got this movie about this loser who, by sheer will, turns himself into a winner. And the movie itself is about this loser who just through sheer force of character made himself into a winner. How can you beat that? You've got the
You,
background of the film
you've got a lot of
following
other
the
good
film.
stories there as well. You've got the guy who wrote the famous Rocky theme and the whole soundtrack, Bill Conti. That was his. I mean, that's where he became known, and he went on to boy. He did a lot of stuff. I
Oh,
can't even name it all, but this is the main highlights of he did the Karate Kid, uh, and he got nominated for an Oscar for the Right Stuff. Another
well,
great soundtrack.
co-
It was like he was like the king of the inspiring music. And
the
he
whole.
also wrote, believe it or not, he wrote a number one song for another movie he did, For Your Eyes Only.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
connect him with. I think everybody, even to this day, connects Bill Conti with the Rocky
Hmm.
series.
Yeah.
But the Karate Kid has a great soundtrack as well. Of course, that soundtrack business. Once you get that first success, that big success, I
Hmm.
guess you can always find work.
Hmm.
Of course, it's like that for a super success, like as an actor in rock. You can always find some work somewhere
Yeah.
once you're in big, unless you murder somebody,
Well, then
OJ.
you have another guy
But
that recharged his career,
yeah,
Burgess Meredith. Burgess Meredith went from there and just and kept it going until he died.
he was the perfect guy. Everything was so perfect for
Yeah,
the Rocky series. The
perfect
Rocky,
storm.
so
Yeah,
much
it's
going
one
on.
of those things. Yeah,
You know what's your first awareness of the Rocky movie? Did you they didn't
I
really
saw it in the
advertise the
movie
movie,
theater. I saw it. I lost count how many times I saw it in the movie
but
theater. Probably
but
6 times at least.
how did you know about it? Just somebody tell you it's a movie?
I actually, it was pretty easy to know about it back then because back then, there weren't movie theaters on every corner, especially where I grew up. There was one, and
Yeah.
you generally didn't get the big movies until after they had won an Oscar, which that was the case with that. We didn't get the didn't get Rocky until after
Ah,
it was Best Picture.
okay.
So everybody knew about Rocky. You know,
Well, see, I saw it when I was in college, and back then it was, I don't even know if they'd started advertising movies on TV very much. It was
yeah,
sort of a new thing when they started. That was, you really, back in those days when a lot of people went to the movies every week, you learned about new movies either by reading about them, reviews, or by just seeing previews in the movies themselves. You'd see four
yeah,
or five previews, and you're already in the habit of going once a week or once every couple of weeks, and you just see previews. But they didn't advertise them on TV like they do now. But it was just kind of word of mouth. Somebody
hmm
had seen Rocky, and they told me, somebody had a class with somebody. It's a pretty
hmm
good movie if you like sports movies. And by the way, Ron, when people talk about the great sports movies of all time, Rocky never comes up for some
and for
reason.
some reason, no, it never does. No, they don't think
And
about it that way for some reason.
and you know what, Ron? I think Rocky's the greatest sports movie ever.
Yeah, it would be in my estimation,
top
absolutely.
top five, top
Yeah,
five. And everybody always, Raging Bull. Okay, well, hum a few bars from the Raging Bull
yeah,
soundtrack for me.
yeah, yeah. What's Raging Bull, and get goosebumps when you're watching it. Sorry, not going to happen.
It's, I mean, you don't get a movie. Raging Bull's a great. Raging Bull's a great film.
Yeah,
Rocky is a great movie.
movie
It's a
exactly. There's a
movie.
difference.
It's what you
Yeah,
expect out of a great movie when you go to the movies. Everybody's going to enjoy it, and they're not going to have to sit back and admire the art and the wonderfulness of the twitch in the actor's eye that you gives you the whole insight to Raging Bull. It's a movie. It's got a
and
great
Raging Bull
soundtrack.
isn't iconic either. It's like anytime there's a team that comes out of nowhere, goes
Uh-huh.
against the odds. It's Rocky esque.
Right.
Uh, you
Bum
know,
bum ba ba bum ba ba
yeah.
bum 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 bum
They'll even
bum
play
ba
that
ba bum
music.
ba ba
Yeah.
bum bum bum. Rocky running up the stairs. They got a statue
hmm
built to
Yeah.
Rocky in
Yeah. It
Philadelphia.
used to be at the steps, but they moved it to the. I don't know where they moved it now because the Sixers don't play at the Spectrum. Probably from where they play now, but they moved it to the Spectrum, and then it's
Ah,
probably at the new place.
well, I wasn't even aware of that, but
Yeah.
you never forget that scene. And Rocky, it's just a great movie. People in it. The one way you can tell, it's not 100%, but the really really great movies, the people that are in the movie turn into big stars. And I don't mean one or
Yeah.
two people, five or six or seven or eight people, like
Yeah.
the movie that American Graffiti is a great example of
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
just keep seeing people at the beginning of their career. And Lords of Flatbush, and there's some which
Yeah.
is not a great movie itself, but it's not
Stallone
a
as
bad
well.
movie. And still Sylvester Stallone. But Sylvester Stallone, Talia Shire playing Adrian, Adrian. You wouldn't even know her name, except for
Yeah.
Adrian. Burgess Meredith, who was kind of just this dude. He was a well-known
Yeah.
actor, very
He's
well
known as the
respected
best known
among
as the
other actors.
Penguin and being on
Yeah,
Twilight
yeah.
Zone. That was pretty much
The
it. Yeah.
public, yeah, the public thought of him as kind of this guy that played this joke character on this sort of joke TV series that turned into a cult thing. But everybody recognized him as this really great actor. And I mean everyday people. when he
Mhm.
played Mickey in the original Rocky. Carl Weathers, man, what an underrated acting job he pulled off. He was supposed to be the bad guy, but he
Yeah,
wasn't. He really
yeah.
wasn't. He he
He
he took.
turned him into a sympathetic character.
Oh man, and it's yeah, it's like somebody that you think of as being arrogant, maybe somebody in school or some athlete or some person who lives down at the end of your street, and then you meet them and they're cool and they're way cooler than you thought they were and they're way nicer than you thought they were, and that's what Carl Weathers pulled off. He was
Yeah,
supposed to be, well, Muhammad Ali. A lot of people
yeah. That was kind of based.
hated.
He was supposed to kind of like be Ali. Yeah,
Yeah. A
yeah,
lot of people hate the real Muhammad Ali. A lot of people hated Muhammad Ali until they met him. Everybody who ever met
yeah.
him came away just totally blown away and loving the guy. And that's Carl Weathers captured all that. And I don't know if he did it effortlessly, but he did it well. And he just made you really like him. He died recently, by the way. And I was
Yeah.
really sad when I when I heard about that. But Carl Weathers, Burt Young, Paulie was the bad guy. Paulie ended up being the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah,
The little rat who hangs
yeah.
around Rocky and is the sister of Rocky's
But he even
brother.
turned out okay later on, you know?
He was okay, but not in the movie
Yeah.
Rocky. And in the
Oh
series, he
no,
turned out
he
okay.
was abusive. He was an abusive drunk, was what he was.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
the brother of Adrian. And here's the guy I like, even the Tony Burton, who played the corner man, and who really
Yeah.
did a great job as the corner man. Those
Mhm.
intense scenes with Rocky at the end. His character didn't even have a name until I think the third Rocky movie, or maybe halfway through the second Rocky
Yeah.
movie. But he was in all the Rocky movies. He was always the corner man. And so even and Sylvester Stallone as a person, so many actors, so many people just forget folks that were there when they got started. Sylvester Stallone, no way he did that. He had that he had that actor in every one of the Rocky movies.
Him and
Tony
Adam
Burke played
Sandler are
too.
known for that. Burt Reynolds
What?
did that a lot too. I
Yeah,
said
why
Adam
not?
Sandler and Burt Reynolds were
Adam
known for
Sandler,
having
yeah.
all these sane people around them all the time.
So, do you own a copy of the Rocky soundtrack?
Oh yeah, and I have all the movies too. I
Oh
just
yeah,
recently got this. I only paid about $12 for it. Got them all on DVD, every one
I'm
of them.
confident. I'm pretty. I was
I
pretty
have the
sure you had
soundtrack
it.
to the first three movies, 1, 2, and 3, and I played the
Well,
grooves off all of
yeah. Well, the thing that was really amazing about the way you can tell a good soundtrack, and they're pretty rare. I talked a little bit about Jack
them.
Johnson in the Curious George movie of all things, but you didn't even realize the soundtrack was just sinking into your soul when you're watching the first Rocky movie, and then you get hold of the album. We bought the album and played the
Yeah,
album. You start playing it, and you can picture every scene. You didn't have to go back and go, "Gosh, which scene was that from?" You knew exactly. It wasn't just the Rocky theme, which was
yeah,
enough right there to buy the entire album, but and you still hear the Rocky theme now. But you hear,
oh
you can
yeah.
hear it in your head. You can hear it in your head. Just great. What? Go ahead. What do you got on your mind about
There was one thought I had. I wrote down when I was writing some notes and stuff, and it's like the Rocky series is sort of like that line from The Godfather where Michael goes, I tried to get out, but they pulled me back in. Rocky's like that. It got a little, there around
Rocky?
Rocky 4 and 5. But then, just when you were giving up, he comes out with Rocky Balboa, where they get him to come out.
Oh
He
yeah,
comes back as an old guy to
that
fight,
was
the
the
fights an
sixth.
exhibition.
That
He's
was
the
the sixth.
champion. And he pulled me back in. I was like,
Well,
dadgummit, yeah, come on, Rocky. When I'm
and then
watching it.
and then you think, well, they can't top this with Stallone. And then this brilliant Creed movie comes out and
Yeah.
streaming, and you've
Mhm.
got all the old characters in it, and you got Mrs. Cosby as
Yeah.
Creed's mom, and you go,
Yeah.
wow, what a great casting move, and she's just so interesting to watch. Felicia Rashad, and just
Yeah.
just and then these Creed movies. There have been 3 of those, and they're all good movies,
Mhm.
really good movies, and they're
Yeah.
really tied into that Rocky theme, that Rocky idea of
Mhm.
always having a challenge, always a new challenge around the corner, and that's the way Rocky's life is. It's like Rocky thinks everything's good, and he goes around the corner, and there's another hurdle, and it's really high. It's at 48 inches,
Well, you know,
not
Rocky's even,
42.
you know, it's so much inspiring stuff, and Stallone was so good at writing and shooting things that were inspirational. And I wrote down part of this. I'm not going to do the whole speech because it's too long to do on here. I mean, it's not really too long, but I'll just do the main gist of it from Rocky Balboa, where he's talking to his son, where his son is sort of like blaming him for like all his problems and everything.
Oh, sure.
And he's like,
It's
no,
all
you
Dad's
know,
fault.
it's, you know, you need to go out and get it, you know, and he's talking about life because, you know, nothing's going to ever hit you as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you know, how hard you hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, because that's how winning's done. And that's true. That's life right there in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah. I think that's why
How
it's so
hard
popular.
you can get hit and keep moving forward, taking the hits and keep moving forward. That's life right there.
Just to go back, I may have just to get some facts in there too, and remind us and our listeners to some of this. By the way, Steve, Don, all you guys, hi. I'm just glad to have you aboard. And we by the way, we've got picked up 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, we're into
What do
the
you call them?
50s now.
I don't even know what those things are called.
Subscribers, yeah.
Subscribers, yeah.
And we need more of those too. And if you can hit that
By
sucker,
the way,
hit it,
Ron,
it, and keep moving forward.
Yeah, just inching forward. We don't know how many have just quit, but
Yeah.
We still get credit for them. The last week's show is I'll call the Alzheimer's version of the show, because I kept bringing up the same songs over and over again. I was watching it the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I got to take better notes. Just some. We'll do one about Alzheimer's. I probably got it, but I don't care. Nobody told me I wouldn't care, so
it's good to see you're okay.
I'm okay with it. If I can't remember something, I really don't care. The just some background: 9 Rocky movies, 6 with Sylvester Stallone being the fighter or tied directly in as the manager, something like that, where Sylvester Stallone's the main character. And then there have been 3 Rocky movies that come under the Creed heading. So that's 9. And, by the way, just to some other characters, other actors that made it big. The list is almost endless with people that made it big associated with the Rocky movies. In Rocky 3, you had Mr. T, who is iconic himself as Clubber Lang.
Icon,
and then I think the next one, I think it was Rocky 4, Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Who is a big time actor. I mean, if they don't know the name, he played Drago. And if you don't know the name, you know the face, you know the profile when you see him. Michael B. Jordan, who's, I don't know, I mean, he's not the biggest star out there, but he's a pretty big star playing
you see him in a lot
Adonis
of stuff.
Johnson. Adonis Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And the setting for Rocky is Philadelphia, which is a perfect, I'm surprised more movies aren't set in Philadelphia, because it's that perfect gritty big city that's fallen on hard times. It makes a great setting for a lot of stories. And every time I see a movie set in Philadelphia, I think, well, they really should probably aim at for a Philadelphia feel a little more often than they do. Of course, they keep winning Super Bowls. Everybody's going to hate them. So if they don't already, of course, Philadelphia hates everybody. So they booed Santa Claus. So
yes, I was going to bring up the Larry Bird story where the 2 Santa Clauses got in a fight in the stands and were beating the hell out of each other. And he was like going, "Oh my God. I hope not any kids are seeing this."
Boston Celtics.
He goes, "Well, that's Philly."
Um,
That was
you,
Philly. Perfect illustration of Philly.
when Sylvester Stallone was trying to sell the original script for Rocky, which, by the way, Stallone wrote, uh, do you know, or did you ever hear who was really pushing, trying to help Sylvester Stallone sell that script? Do you know?
Let me
I, I
know.
I did not know this story. Henry Winkler, who was a good friend of is a good friend of Sylvester Stallone's. I think Henry Winkler's a good friend to everybody, really. But he and
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone had been in Lords of Flat. I'll say it correctly here in a minute. Lords of
Hmm.
Flatbush together, and Winkler,
Hmm.
by the time Stallone had written the Rocky script, was a big star and had a lot of pull and knew a lot of people. And he walked into some offices for Sylvester Stallone with a script, and he got the script read, and that's how the script really got hot and was something that everybody was interested in, is because the big wigs through Henry Winkler got to read the script, and anybody who read the script got interested.
Okay, another
Go
little.
ahead.
I was going to bring this up earlier about Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler actually based the character that made him a bigwig on Sylvester Stallone,
Oh, sure.
on his
Yeah.
personality and the things he said, because that's the way Stallone talked, was the oh yay, hey yo, yo, you know, and all of that. And he borrowed. He was like, when he did Fonzie, he was like, he said, I just channeled Sly. That's
Yeah.
all
Oh,
I did,
sure.
you know.
Henry
Yeah.
Winkler
Because they
shows
got
up
to know each other at that movie, and he just channeled Sylvester Stallone to do Fonzie.
around that time period. You do any research about what's going on around 19 what year did I say Rocky came out? 1976. 677. Henry Winkler's name pops up. He's the kind of person that
Hmm.
everybody who meets him likes him, and he's the kind of person that is your friend and does things for you like a
Yeah.
friend will do, like trying to help you when there's really nothing in it for him, like get a script purchased, or get
Hmm.
somebody interested in a script. And I know he's older now and doesn't, like we all are, and he doesn't have the pull he once had. But I bet you could still get Henry Winkler to read a script for you if you knew him well enough to send him one if you had time. I
No,
guess he got a little time.
I probably could. Um, he, I know that he had a lot of acclaim, and I can't remember if he probably got nominated for an Emmy or something for it. I think he did for that show Barry on
Yeah, right.
HBO.
Yeah, yep. Finally got some
Yeah,
recognition, some official recognition. Although,
yeah,
uh, and I think this is fair. A lot of the people who win these awards don't actually care that much about awards, and I got a feeling that Henry Winkler's one of those guys. He likes it. He appreciates it. When I've gotten a couple of
probably.
awards here and there, I certainly appreciate them, but I don't need them. I didn't need them. It's just
Yeah,
nice. It's
hmm,
nice to get them, but I think that's how Henry Winkler
yeah.
almost certainly is, just from what we've learned about him doing research for other things. His name just pops up every once in a while, more often than you'd think when you're doing background on boomer topics. And Henry Winkler might be the poster child for boomers, right? He was like right in the middle of everybody's lives there
One
for a
of them.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've got
yeah,
you've got
for
a
sure.
got a lot of things. We talk about the monkeys and maybe Henry Winkler. Um, we have not. I have not mentioned the
Well, and
name.
the Fonz is definitely one of the huge icons. You know.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Maybe we should do a show about the Fonz, but or we just do a show dressed as the
So.
Fonz. I don't have a leather jacket. Do you have a leather jacket?
I have a
I don't have
leather
a leather
jacket.
jacket. I don't. Do you do?
I have a leather jacket. I don't have any hair.
Oh, that's true. I got hair, but I don't have a leather jacket. But
See, you got
hey, the
hair and
director.
don't have a leather jacket. I got a leather jacket. So I guess between the two of us, we could sort of kind of maybe be a little
Maybe do
bit,
it.
you know.
Yeah, a little grease for our hair.
Yeah.
Um,
I can snap my
the
fingers
movie.
real well. That's.
Yeah. Hey. Um, the movie won 3 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Film Editing. And I guess you're right in the middle of the film editing anytime you do a boxing movie, because you got to do all those cuts when, the hits and
Yeah.
the reactions, and make it look realistic. But the director, John G. Alvidson. Alvidson. It's kind of hard
Abelson
to say because
yeah.
it's Avild. You've got that L deep. Alvidson. How do you say it? Alvidson. I spelled it, so we're
I
okay.
think it's Abelson. I think he also
Abelson.
directed the
Abelson.
Karate Kid as well, and
Right.
so lots of other things.
He
Well
Saved the
known.
Tiger. Save the Tiger, which is a little known
Uh-huh.
movie, but Jack Lemmon starred in it. And it's one of my discoveries late at night where I was like, man, this is a really good movie, Save the Tiger. Lean on Me, which is a really good movie. Rocky Five, so he did two of the Rocky movies, and a real underrated movie about, I think it's bull riding, 8 Seconds, and which I saw several years
Oh
ago.
yeah.
And there's just a lot of good movies associated with him. And I really do apologize for mispronouncing his name, but I'm just a little tongue tied here, as I'm celebrating Christmas in August with my Christmas mug, if you can see it here.
All
I don't know,
right.
Ronnie. We got to wait. We got a lot of ways to go here for a lot of different directions for Song of the Week. I think it should be a Rocky song. 2 number 1 songs came out of the Rocky series, Ron. Gonna Fly Now, and what's the other one?
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. And in fact, Eye of the Tiger was a bigger hit than Gonna Fly Now. Although I would argue that Gonna Fly Now stands out more to me just because it's an instrumental. You almost never have instrumentals go all the way to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was number 1 for a week
Yeah.
in the same year of the movie. And then in 1982, the Rocky III soundtrack had the song Eye of the Tiger, group Survivor, written by Frankie Sullivan and Jim Peterick. What did you say?
I just said Survivor. That was all. I just was saying Survivor. Right. That was it.
Ron, it was number 1 for
Move
6 weeks. Okay. It was number 1. Eye of the Tiger was number 1 for 6 weeks. So 2 number 1 songs coming out of a series. I don't know, maybe the Bond series is the only other series that I can think of that just, has that kind of mark on the music industry as far as the soundtrack.
Right off hand.
Yeah. Well, you've got these. You've got Saturday Night Fever and things like that had multiple hits just come, spin out of it. But for a movie series to do it is pretty good. But Eye of the Tiger is and the idea for Eye of the Tiger, Sylvester Stallone is not listed as a writer, but he actually came up with a basic concept when he brought the idea to these guys, Frankie Sullivan and Jim Peterick. He told them, look, all I know is I want an upbeat driving song that has chords in it that correspond to punches. It's got that bump, 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 bump. And that's exactly how they wrote it. Congratulations to them for really doing what Sylvester Stallone visualized or audibleized, I guess, as he was attempting to get that sound that he wanted for the third Rocky movie, the Mr. T movie, by the way. I don't know, Ron, any final thoughts on Rocky and his place in the culture?
I'm ready to hit the final bell on it. I think I'm done.
Well, I guess so too. I mean, we could talk about the entire series, but we've sort of done that, and really, nothing happens without that great first movie. And once again, just want to reiterate what a really fine movie it is. And if you haven't seen it in a while, watch it. I mean, real acting. We haven't even touched on Talia Shire, but who played Adrian.
Yeah.
But she did a wonderful job. Everybody just did a great job. She was perfect. That might be the most believable romantic matchup in the history of movies. Is Rocky meeting Adrian and falling in love with her. Totally believable that Adrian, this very withdrawn girl who worked in a pet shop, would go for Rocky, and totally believable that Sylvester Stallone's guy with nothing really, he's working part-time for the mob as an enforcer, sees this girl who might give him more than a chance to talk to her, and turns into and that's the other thing. They run this really great, neat love interest through the movie, and this is another thing that makes you appreciate the movie. Rocky. Go out and see it again. I watched it recently, and just to prepare for this, and boy, fine movie. And I guess I am done as well, Ron.
All right.
I meant to talk about that more, but I mean, it's so phony.